Welcome to another immigration art video. My name is Art Serratelli, and along with Mara Mijal, the two of us run the immigration law group. Today's video deals with the current, very current, as of the date this video was recorded, topic of the President's Immigration Reform Initiative that he issued in November 2014. President Obama went on television and made a list of priorities that he feels he can control through his executive power. He can make these rules without law passed by Congress. So the purpose of this video is, one, what are these new rules? What did he say? Here's a hint. He didn't say very much. And guess what? He made an announcement before the details were ready. Number one. Number two, don't get ripped off. There is a very, very high chance there are lots of rotten, dishonest people out there who, between the time the president makes an announcement about policies he needs more detail for to execute, and the time those actual policies are really available to help people, there's this gap in time where crooks can try to tell you they know more about what's going on than actually is going on. The big secret is right now, as of the filming date of this video, there is no detail. There is no there. We don't know how to apply. We don't know what we're applying for. We don't know the details. This slide, it comes right from the government's website, and it's the most important slide in the entire video. Why do I say that? Because it says, clear as a bell, important notice. These initiatives announced by the president have not yet been implemented, and USCIS is not accepting any requests. It's not accepting any applications for any of this stuff at this time. Beware of anyone. Beware of anyone who tries to offer to help you submit an application, because there are no applications available yet. Do not pay anyone any amount of money at this time to file anything for you under these proposed rules. Nothing has been finalized. There's nothing to submit. Do not get ripped off. Do not get ripped off. Instead, get informed. Submit a subscription request to this government website. Submit a subscription request to this government website, like it says right here in the warning, and like I'll describe in this video, and the government will send you updates about the particular aspects of the president's proposals that interest you. Don't get ripped off. Don't listen to other people. Subscribe directly to the federal government updates as they become available. Take control of your understanding of these new rules announced by the president. The video is divided into two parts. The first part is dealing with the president's executive orders, part 1, 2, and 3, dealing with people here in America without legal status. Parts 1, 2, and 3 of this video deal with unlawfully present, undocumented people inside the United States. If that's what interests you, stick right here. If you are interested in the economic, high skill, researcher, entrepreneur, citizenship kinds of proposals, that's part 2 of this video, and they start with the slides that say Executive Order Part 4 and Executive Order Part 5. So if that's what interests you, skip ahead skip ahead and find those sections right now. Okay? Enjoy. Executive Order, Part 1. This section of the President's order deals with the DACA program, changes to the DACA program, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. The proposed rules would basically lift the upper age limit for those who are undocumented and who came here through no fault of their own as a child. The upper age limit would be removed as follows. DACA now applies to all individuals born prior to June 15, 1981. By changing the birth date requirement to June 15, 1981, the president is effectively removing the upper age restriction provided under all the prior DACA rules. And as a final note, the president's executive order changes the continuous residence requirement as follows. In the past, the DACA rules required continuous residence in the United States prior to filing for DACA, starting as of June 15, 2007. The president has changed that date, and now continuous residence prior to filing for DACA needs to be established beginning January 1, 2010. January 1, 2010. And if you need more information as these DACA rules are updated, look at the screen I'm showing you right now. At the bottom, it says how to get updates. Follow the directions there and subscribe. The government will send you by email updates to the DACA program. The President's Executive Order, Part 2. This section deals with a program called DAPA, D-A-P-A. What does that stand for? It stands for Deferred Action for Parents. That's the P, parents of Americans and green card holders. So if you are an unlawfully present parent, you're in the United States illegally, you're here without documentation, and you're the parent of a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, and that child was born on or before November 20, 2014, you could get relief from deportation as the parent. This is big, but it's exercised in the discretion of the government on a case-by-case basis. And if you look at the text right there on your screen, take a look, you will see that the USCIS will consider DAPA applications on a case-by-case basis. Essentially, this means that if you're a good, hardworking person and you have no legal status, you can come out of the shadows, participate fully in our economy, and become regularized with a work authorization card, and your deportation is deferred. If you are a troublemaker, I use that word very loosely. If you're a criminal, if you've committed violent crimes, other people who are priorities for deportation, if you fall into the bad category, do not apply under DAPA because you won't get deferred action. You'll get deported. So if you're interested in getting updates about DAPA, you'll see at the bottom of your screen, you can subscribe from this government website for updates, and the United States government will tell you more about the program as it is finalized. Please don't rely on other sources like lawyers for information. Go to the government website. Executive Order Part 3, Provisional Waivers of Unlawful Presence. This section is yet another in the president's order dealing with giving protection to those in America without lawful status. This particular section essentially says this: if you are the son or daughter of a U.S. citizen, or if you're the spouse or son or daughter of a green card holder, so you got that? Son and daughter of U.S. citizen, or spouse, son, or daughter of a lawful permanent resident, and you are undocumented and you've been here unlawfully for at least 180 days, you may be entitled to a provisional waiver of your unlawful presence, and you may be able to regularize your status. If you're interested in this provision, then I suggest you go to the screen I'm showing you right now on the government website and subscribe to updates. Once the government issues the regulations and the guidelines for taking advantage of this order, you will be notified by the government website and you can act accordingly. One final note regarding this section of the executive order: to qualify for a provisional waiver of unlawful presence, you need to demonstrate extreme hardship. Also proposed by the president is a clarification of the meaning of extreme hardship so that it is more standardized and evenly applied. That's the key. Executive Order Part 4. Now, this is where the executive order stops focusing on those that are undocumented and begins focusing on other aspects of the immigration system. This, in particular, focuses on skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and others who have been getting shortchanged under the broken immigration system as it exists right now. But before you get too excited, as I go through the bullet points shown there, right there on the screen that you're looking at, as I go through the bullet points, you're going to see that there's a lot of generalities, a lot of vagueness, and a lot of promises with no substance. No substance. We have to wait. When you look down to the bottom of the screen and it says when will these changes be happening? Look what it says next to the word when. It says, upon the issuing of the necessary guidance and regulations. So when is that? When is that? Well, it could be tomorrow, or it could be at a distant point in the future. How distant? I hope Obama is still the president when they issue these rules, because this is his order. Remember, any president after Obama can undo this order. So we need these rules in effect as soon as possible so that many people start taking the benefits, and then any future president won't be able to undo it with ease. We want these new changes to stick. We need change now, right now. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what these rules say, and they don't say much. Here we go. Item number 1, USCIS will work with the Department of State to figure out a method to make sure that when work visas become available, the people who are entitled to them will get them. Thank you for that. Thanks a lot. Bullet point number 2. USCIS will work with the Department of State to modify the visa bulletin system so it's more comprehensible to a normal person. This visa bulletin has been broken ever since it started. It is incomprehensible. First of all, the name. Visa bulletin? What does that mean, visa bulletin? What does that mean? What it really should be called is the thing that you look at to figure out how long a backlog is for your particular type of green card category. Don't get me started. In other words, thank you, President Obama. This is an order that has been long overdue. All right, bullet point number 3. I'm going to tell you what it is talking about, but then I'm just going to read it word for word. Okay, what it's talking about is if you're in a job-based employment green card category, you could be facing, particularly if you're from India or China, years and years, and I mean years, a lot of years, in line to get the green card. It forces you to be trapped. You're trapped in your job, essentially, until you get that green card. There are some exceptions, but that's basically it. You're stuck. So this next bullet point is supposed to fix that. But here's what it says. Are you ready? Are you ready? It says, and I quote, provide clarity on adjustment portability to remove unnecessary restrictions on natural career progression and general job mobility to provide relief to workers facing lengthy adjustment delays. What does that mean? Who the heck knows? Who the heck knows? I don't know what that means. This is why it is crazy for people to get so excited about these rules. There are no rules. That is a meaningless bunch of words that indicates a good intention, but I don't know what it's going to mean. That's why you got to just be patient. Be patient. There's nothing out there. There's no there. Bullet point number 4. Number 4. And I'm just going to read this one again too. Clarify the standard by which a national interest waiver may be granted to foreign investors, researchers, and founders of startup enterprises to benefit the United States economy. Okay, I get it. The president wants to make it easier to give national interest waiver green cards, permanent residence, to people who invest in the United States, perform research in the United States, or start companies in the United States. And look at the next bullet point. Bullet point number 5. If it's too soon to give you one of these national interest waiver green cards, well, they're going to let you stay. They'll give you, quote, parole, a favor. They'll do you a favor and let you stay here physically if it's still too soon for you to get the green card based upon investment or starting a company or doing research. We will let you stay as a favor if you've been either awarded significant U.S. investor financing for your venture that you're going to start up, or if you otherwise, get this, if you otherwise hold the promise of innovation and job creation through the development of new technologies or the pursuit of cutting-edge research. Again, bullets number 4 and number 5, they're nice ideas. I really thank the president for offering these ideas, but until we get the details, there is nothing out there. There is nothing there. There is no there. Bullet point number 6. The USCIS will finalize a rule to provide work authorization to the spouses of H-1B visa holders who are, quote, on the path to lawful permanent resident status. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean at the I-140 stage? Does it mean somewhere between the I-140 and the 485 stage? Well, you know what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what it means. And that's why when you read stuff in the newspaper, you see stuff on the internet, you got some lawyer claiming he knows what's going on and wants to charge you money to talk about it. Don't take the bait. Don't do it. You sign up. See at the bottom of the screen there? You sign up for updates. You take control over your understanding of these rules by subscribing right there at the bottom of the page to get future updates regarding the regulations and guidance that will be issued further explaining these rules. Don't depend on anybody else. You can read just as well as I can. There's no mystery to this. Just do it. And finally, bullet points number 7 about OPT and number 8 about the L1B program. Again, we've got nice generalities, wonderful ideas and beautiful thoughts, but no details. I've heard some crazy rumors. Let me read the words off the page here, and then I'll tell you what I've heard, and you tell me why you cannot listen to anyone, including a lawyer. You only listen to the federal government when immigration's website sends you, after you subscribe at the bottom of the screen, to getting updates about these rules. Then you know there is a new thing to be discussed. And once you read the government's update, if you don't understand that, then go seek some counsel. But right now, there's nothing to pay anybody about because there's nothing to talk about. Here we go. Let's take a look. Bullet point number 7. The the Immigration Service is going to work with ICE to develop regulations that will expand and extend the use of OPT. Expand and extend. What does that mean? Who knows? Here are some of the crazy rumors I heard. When this was first announced by the president in November, I was on a college campus somewhere, and someone ran into me and said, "Hey, isn't it great? OPT now is good for 4 years." Now, how on earth that rumor got started, I will never know. I will never know. All it says in the proposed policy guideline here is that they're going to expand and extend OPT. It doesn't say anything about anything else. All right, come on, last one, bullet point number 8. Now, this is so ridiculous, it's funny. It is a symptom. This bullet point is a symptom of our broken immigration system. We have something called the L1B, Specialized Knowledge Non-Immigrant Visa Worker Category. Okay? Now let's read what the president wants to do. Bullet point number 8. The USCIS needs to provide clear and consolidated guidance on the meaning of specialized knowledge. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this saying that the president is admitting that immigration has no clue what specialized knowledge means, yet they're determining with an approval or a denial someone's eligibility for specialized knowledge categories of work when they don't even have a proper guidance on what specialized knowledge means? There, my work here is done. My work here is done. Our immigration system is broken, and thank goodness President Obama has the guts to say it. Executive Order, Part 5. This has to do with green card holders becoming eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship. This part of the proclamation, in my opinion, has nothing to do with any changes in any law. It just simply says that the president would like to promote awareness among green card holders that they can become citizens. That's always been the rule. It's always been the rule. It always will be the rule. If you have a green card, you can become a citizen within certain timelines. And the president wants to make it a little bit easier to pay the application fee. I mean, these are nice ideas, great, but they don't help very much and they don't change very much. But if you are interested in these proposals, then sign up, subscribe to this section of the government's website, and they will send you updates as they are available. All right, so there you have it. That's the big deal announced by President Obama in November of 2014. When will we start getting details? Who knows? Who knows? But don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to the grapevine. And for right now, don't listen to any lawyers. There's nothing to talk about. There are no details. Subscribe, like I've showed you, subscribe to the parts of the executive order that interest you. Go to that government website, subscribe, and when the government has more current, up-to-date information, they'll email it to you. And at that point, if you still don't understand what the heck they're talking about, then contact a counselor, someone like me or Mara Mijal. Contact the two of us and we will help you at the right time. We get up every day to make sure you get the questions you have answered. We do it in a fair way, in a responsible way. Do not get ripped off out there. It's sometimes very ugly out there.